Hello and welcome to Newsbreak at 7 this Friday evening. I'm Veera Raghav, and the top political focus in South India today is the Tamil Nadu Governor Ravi. Has he gone too far? Last evening, the governor threatened to set off another major confrontation with the state government when, in an unprecedented move, he unilaterally sent out a letter sacking State Minister Senthil Balaji, who was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on corruption allegations. There was a strong response from Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, and the state government would challenge the order legally. Averting what could have led to an embarrassing constitutional and political confrontation, Union Home Minister intervened in the matter, and the governor backtracked and released a second letter keeping in abeyance his order till further legal opinion from the Attorney General. In his first letter, the governor had cited the case against the arrested minister and that he's exercising his powers under Articles 154, 163 and 164 to dismiss him without the Chief Minister's consent. In his second letter, he wrote, and I quote, "I have been advised by the Union Home Minister, Honourable Union Home Minister, that it would be prudent to seek the opinion of the Attorney General." The DMK has decided to ignore both letters, and even the state BJP unit President K. Annamalai did not take an open stand in support of the governor's decision and instead chose to focus on the corruption allegations. Let's listen in to all the reactions that came in from Tamil Nadu.
He doesn't want to conduct himself in accordance with the Constitution. So the Honourable Chief Minister has rightly disregarded his letter, has rightly shown the place where it has to be. The Home Minister has written a letter to him. I think, I don't know whether he has written a letter to him or has called and told him. But he quotes that the Home Minister has told him to get the advice of the Attorney General. According to us, one need not get an advice from the Attorney General. If you read the Constitution Article 164, that is itself is sufficient.
Opposition leader, the Honorable Chief Minister now, Through M.K. Stalin ji, as opposition leader, has categorically requested the Honorable Governor then in 2016 and 18 to dismiss a minister from the ADMK government. Now in 2023, he calls this a constitutional crisis. It is the bounden duty of Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu to keep his cabinet neat and clean, which is not doing it. So now the question of whether the governor has got powers or no powers, we don't want to get into that. Since the governor has chosen to go to the Attorney General and take his opinion and get back to us. So BJP Tamil Nadu, we choose to reserve our comment on this particular issue. So what we are trying to do is bringing out what Mr. M.K. Stalin ji has spoken at different points of time and what Supreme Court has given judgments at different points of time.
Remember, this is not the first time that you've had a confrontation between the Tamil Nadu governor and the Tamil Nadu DMK government. It's been going on for many months now. And has it hit a new low? Has governor taken things too far this time? That's the question we're asking this evening. Joining us live from Chennai, Narayan Tirupati, BJP spokesperson. From Tamil Nadu, TKS Ilangovan, senior leader of the DMK, former Rajya Sabha MP as well. And also NDTV's Vasudha Venugopal. She joins us live as well. Vasudha, first to you. How is the centre viewing this consistent and constant friction between the governor, Raj Bhavan in Chennai, and the state government? And with this decision, how does the centre see this playing out? Are they in backing of the governor or are they uneasy about these decisions?
So, when it comes to Tamil Nadu, the BJP is very mindful of two things, identity and language. Both of these issues are extremely touchy topics, and the BJP has been very sensitive and careful of not hurting sentiments, and it also finds itself in a spot at times. It's not unusual for us to see BJP governments, in opposition ruled states. We have seen this often, that governors are at odds with the chief ministers, but the BJP will like it if it is actually paying off political dividends. So we saw that in Bengal, Jagdeep Dhankar, who's the vice president now, he was the governor earlier, and he spoke a lot about political violence just a year before the elections. And actually that, in a way, probably also helped build sentiment for the BJP. I'm not sure if that is happening in Tamil Nadu, which is why I also think that the central leadership of the BJP will be far more careful in supporting a move like this. Tamil Nadu has been a focus of their expansion universe for a long time, because it's also an ideological battle for them. If you see with the Sengol outreach or with Kashi Tamil Sangamam, there is an attempt to attract the pious Tamil voter to the BJP, of course, with Jayalalitha also not alive anymore. But so while the BJP and the Prime Minister especially have been focusing on this, they wouldn't want anybody anybody to sort of put any sort of spanner in the works when that outreach is concerned. So I'm not really sure if the governor's move here has the support of the center, which is why probably there was also, the move was also put on hold, and there was some sort of a rethink that's happening. But let's also remember that the BJP's strategy is constantly evolving, and the day the party also strengthens its organization, it would probably go for a direct confrontation. But probably at this time, when it's relying on allies more, it will probably try to avoid these direct and constant flare-ups.
Right, it'll be interesting to watch what the centre does with the governor or how this plays out in the coming days. But let's get to the political debate now. Narayan Tirupati of the BJP and T.K. Silangovan from the DMK. Mr. Tirupati, first to you. Is it becoming difficult to defend the governor even for the state BJP unit? Would you like to refrain from commenting on the decision to dismiss a minister unilaterally by a governor, which is seen as unprecedented by experts and may not have stood the test of law?
No, Raghav, what is difficult in it? There is absolutely nothing, because it's the decision of the governor whether to dismiss Senthil Balaji or he has asked for a legal opinion as per the advice of Home Ministry. Very simple. So that is why we said, since legal implications are there, our State President Mr. Annamalai had very clearly said that we reserve the comments on this. But we need to understand the political debate for the last almost 24 hours remains with this dismissal and other things. Why is that happened? See, we need to understand that Senthil Balaji was termed as a fraud and cheat by the present Chief Minister and the then opposition leader, Mr. Stalin. When Mr. Stalin says that what the governor said, what the governor did was unconstitutional, then it was the same Mr. Stalin who had demanded the resignation, dismissal of Mr. Vijay Bhaskar during 1st September 2018 at 8:39 p.m. He has tweeted. You can see that for yourself. So throughout that month, at least 3-4 times, he has demanded the dismissal of the then ministers and also the DGP. We need to understand, not only the ministers, the DGP of the state also. So when it was not unconstitutional in 2018, how will it become unconstitutional in 2023? I don't agree with Vasudha Venugopal because she is terming everything as a political thing. No, it is not so. The thing is that Senthil Balaji is a fraud and a cheat, according to Mr. Stalin, should have been dismissed. Our stand is that he should have been dismissed.
We'll get to the corruption conversation, but let me first focus on the larger issue that was sparked off by the governor's decision first, and then we'll get to the corruption conversation. T.K. Silangovan, what's next as far as the DMK is concerned? This confrontation has gone on repeatedly. What does the party plan to do next?
See, the problem is that the constitution does not give the power to the governor to remove a minister. What our friend Narayan Tirupati said, Stalin asked at that time to remove the minister. That doesn't mean that Stalin wanted the governor to do it. The Stalin wanted the governor to advise the chief minister to take him out of the cabinet. That is we had pleaded with the governor to remove him. That's all. That doesn't mean that governor can do it. The constitution says the ministers are appointed under the advice of the chief minister. That is what Article 164(1) says. So that should be the thing. The governor cannot appoint ministers on his own. Governor cannot remove ministers on his own. He is not an elected person. It is the state government and the chief minister and the elected legislative assembly should decide on these matters. So the question, when he asked, our leader asked the governor earlier, he did not say that you remove him. You said you asked the government, that is, put pressure on the government to remove him. That doesn't mean that he wanted the governor to remove him. So now that the governor has no powers to appoint any minister.
No, Mr. Ilangovan, now that the Union Home Minister has intervened and the governor has backtracked on his order, what next? The focus has to come down also to the allegations of corruption. Has that been completely diverted into an issue of constitutional confrontation between the Raj Bhavan and the state government, where the core issue of corruption seems to be diluted? Would you agree?
See, this is a charge. See, the court is the deciding authority. When there is a charge on anybody, you cannot say that he is convicted. It is for the court to decide. There are 8 ministers in the union cabinet who have corrupt charges, various charges against them, which you can see. If you had come to Chennai, you would have seen posters depicting all these ministers' photos and names. They had so many charges, but all are continuing as ministers. Mere charge does not disqualify a person from becoming a minister. The only thing is that he should be convicted by the court, then automatically he will go out. That is the way. You can't say that since there is a corruption charges, he should be removed from the government. And the governor has no role. Yesterday what he had done was, he issued a statement that he is removing a minister from the cabinet, which is unconstitutional. That is what we say.
No, the point taken on that, Mr. Narayan Tirupati, by the governor's actions, he has only diluted the focus on the corruption allegations that are there. Instead, it has now turned into an issue of a Raj Bhavan versus state government. Would you agree that this is also perhaps an equally important issue to be addressed while you focus on corruption? There needs to be an explanation for that kind of an action.
No, Mr. Viragam, we welcomed what the governor did yesterday. I would again like to reiterate the fact that Mr. T.K. Silangovan, a very senior most politician in Tamil Nadu, is trying to defend his party unnecessarily. Mr. Stalin had demanded the dismissal of Mr. Vijay Bhaskar by the governor himself. If you want, I can show all the tweets. He is saying that he has only demanded the dismissal by the chief minister. He has never mentioned. He has very clearly said that the governor should dismiss Vijay Bhaskar and T.K. Rajendran, the then DGP. Now, coming into the fact of the case, he said that he is only an accused. Yes, he is an accused. I don't deny that he is not a convict. But what the Supreme Court has said, the Supreme Court has very clearly mentioned how all Mr. Senthil Balaji evaded the inquiry, and also the Supreme Court has ordered for a special investigation team, and that is what the governor has also mentioned, that Mr. Senthil Balaji as a minister is trying to influence. He will influence. He was influencing, and he is influencing. This is what the Supreme Court has said very clearly in that order. So that is the reason the governor asked the chief minister to drop him from the cabinet. But instead of doing that, the chief minister had also hidden the fact that he was arrested and mentioning that he will be a portfolio-less minister because he is not well. So the governor took a decision, which maybe due to some legal hiccups, probably he is searching for he is for the legal opinion from the Advocate General.
I think it's a matter of stated law that the governor should act on the advice of the Council of Ministers, and when a governor takes an action unilaterally, it has been questioned by experts across the board. I don't want to go into the constitutional aspect of it, primarily because it seems to be settled law. Even the governor himself has backtracked the order. So I don't understand why there is a need to perhaps go back into the first order, which has been backtracked on. But let me get to the larger political question, Mr. T.K. Silangovan. Does this issue actually play more in favor of the DMK, bolstering the regional sentiment when the governor takes an action like this, while you may oppose it largely, but at a political grassroots level, is it actually something that plays into an advantage for the DMK in the state? Mr. T.K. Silangovan,
Yes.
Silangovan, while you oppose this on constitutional and legal grounds, does this issue politically only benefit the DMK?
See what happens. See, without consulting without a legal consultation, the governor had acted. He had issued a statement, notification. He should have first consulted the legal people and then would have come out with this. It is the Home Ministry had advised him that to withdraw his statement, the press release. What does that mean? That he has not consulted. He did it on his own. For his will and pleasure, he is doing it.
Sir,
how can he do that?
Sir, all those points are taken. No, all those points All those points are taken, sir. The final question, all those points have been taken and reiterated. There are several judgments in this aspect as well. I'm coming to the final point. What about moral responsibility in terms of corruption? Given that there is a clip and there has been, it is true that MK Stalin himself had made allegations against Senthil Balaji back when they were opponents. Today as Chief Minister, when there is such a serious charge, isn't the issue of corruption also something that needs to be focused? And has this confrontation with the Raj Bhavan successfully diluted focus on that corruption issue? Mr. T.K. Silangovan.
See, what happened was the High Court had already given a verdict on Senthil Balaji. Then they had gone to Supreme Court. What the High Court had earlier told, they did not punish him. It was not an appeal. Appeal by the prosecutors, not by the victim or the accused. So they had gone on appeal, which means the High Court had decided in favor of or in pro Senthil Balaji. Now they have gone to Supreme Court and had got an order. Now the matter is
point taken. You're saying till he is convicted. Right, you're saying that till the matter is decided by the courts, he is legally entitled to be a minister in the state government.
He is not
and nobody has
disqualified
the right to
because
dismiss
the matter
him.
is before the court. He was released.
That's the point. Okay, point taken,
So
Mr.
now-
T.K. Silangovan. Thank you, Mr. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I've completely run out of time. This is there is no legal confrontation at the moment between the Raj Bhavan and the State Secretariat, given that the order has been backtracked, but the political confrontation will continue. Thank you, Mr. Narayan Tirupati, for joining us. Thank you, T.K. Silangovan, for joining us as well.